video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make homemade pretzels. So I've measured out my flour and I've added some salt to it as well. Now, while I'm giving my yeast just a couple more minutes, you can test the yeast is ready. If you've proofed it for too long, just stick your finger in there, and if yeast comes back up, you're all good. If no yeast comes back up, you've overproofed it, and I'm sorry, you'll have to start again. And if it's not foamy, then I'm also sorry, because you will also have to start again. So I'm gonna heat up some butter in a microwave-safe bowl, and we'll get started after that. Okay, so now that I let my yeast proof, I'm going to grab my flour, and I'm going to also need the butter, a spatula, and a cup measurer. Okay, I'm going to put 2 cups of flour into my yeast. Once I add the first cup, I'm going to mix it. And then I'm going to add the second cup of it. Then I'm going to put this bowl into the mixer. And I'm going to add the butter. And add the bread attachment, or some people also call it a dough hook. Looks like a spring. And I'm going to mix it on low or medium. I'm just going to add 1 cup of flour at a time-ish. And then mix it on low. Once I got this mostly equipped, I'm going to mix it with the dough hook for about 3 minutes. So after 3 minutes of kneading with the dough hook, I have my pretzel dough, and I'm going to knead it with my hands for about another 4 minutes. If you're not sure how to knead, I'll show you right now. So if not, you can just fast forward this part. So cover your hands in a bit of flour, and you're going to pull the dough over, fold it over, and push. Rotate the dough, and continue this step for about the next 4 minutes, or until it's nice and doughy. It's bounce back, like when you put your finger into it, it'll bounce back really easily. Those are some of the signs you can look for to check when your dough is done. Or until it becomes hard to knead it. A helpful test to see if your dough has been kneaded is called the window pane test. So I'm going to come and show you guys up close. So I have my dough, and I'm going to see if I can see through it into the light. And yes, it does work. So you should like take a little bit of the dough, like so. Stretch it out, check against the sun, and if you can see some of the light through it, then it means that your dough has been kneaded. Now that I've kneaded my dough, I'm going to put it in a lightly oiled bowl. So to oil the bowl, put a tiny bit of oil into the bowl, like not too much. And just rub it around, kind of. Oil the bowl. Then we're just gonna turn our dough a bit in that. And we're gonna let it sit, and I'm gonna cover it in a bit of plastic wrap, and we're going to let it rise. So I have some coarse salt, which I'm gonna just put to the side, that's for later, and an egg. So I'm gonna crack the egg in the bowl. And this egg is going to be our egg wash. So I'm just going to beat it a bit with a fork. And I have this thing, I don't really know what it's called. And I'm going to use it to brush over the pretzels, and that is going to make it brown better. So once I've finished with the egg wash, I'm going to move on to my kosher salt, and I'm going to take a pinch of salt and just sprinkle it over the pretzel. That should be about good. To help the pretzels rise in the oven so that they just don't bake immediately and they have no chance to get bigger, I'm going to put a water bath, and it's basically just going to steam it up. So I have a pan in the oven that was in there while the oven was preheating, and I'm going to add about a cup of water into the pan. And then I'm going to add the pretzels in. Okay. And I'm going to bake that for about 20 minutes.